We have what we call an architecture review board. And most new programs, if you're doing like a minor change to an existing feature or capability, it's okay. But if you're introducing something new, we have guidelines that we've put together, right? And so guidelines will be, if this is not long running and doesn't have persistence, use serverless. If you are going across clouds for whatever reason, or when you have a choice to make of where to host your service, really think about what the workflow is of the data and design for being in the same cloud if you can, right? So you're not incurring network egress costs. If you're looking at storage, right? Pick the right storage layer. If you're looking at even storage, can you archive? What does your archival policy look like, right? Are you maintaining all data in one storage, or are you able to implement some kind of archival policies? So we do have these guidelines set up. So we have sort of a host of guidelines / patterns that we set up for the teams. And we really do go through that when the program comes for review, right? When the program architecture comes for review, the architecture review board does kind of go through the checklist of sort of guidelines and patterns. And a lot of these are focused on cloud costs and optimization, right? And so we look at all these as we review that. Because what we found is it's much easier to point out things and get changes when you're in the design phase versus you've already built it, right? Because then it becomes something you have to unwind. Typically the project team will say, hey, is it okay if I do it in the next wave and the next release? And priorities take over and you don't always make those changes, right? And so having some of these guidelines set out has been good for us, right? And I think it's a little muscle memory. In the beginning, it's hard. After a while, people, even logging and metrics, right? What do you log versus what is a trace and a metric? People put so much in logs, right? And we've really started asking ourselves, okay, why do you need this in the log versus if it's just a metric you want to measure, then make it a metric, and you don't need to use your log data and your log volumes for that. So we're getting better little by little every day with some of these guidelines and patterns, but we found that's a good way of sort of instilling things while they're being designed so that unwinding doesn't have to be done.